only a model. Shh.
We're knights around the table, not round the square nor triangle. We come to hang and chat like a gang on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're knights around the table, our host is formidable. He runs a strange, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's hobby mad in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Quite incomprehensible. Blue wrench in hand, we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it falls on in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, happy Friday to you all. Hope you're all well on the other side of the camera here, the other side of the computer monitor. Looks like we got a bit of a smaller crowd than normal today. It's the holidays, got to be expected. Hectic week here, but let's just go ahead and greet who's here, and then I can start going off with the chat. Hello, Sir Andy of the Hot Dog Pilot, Sir Ifo Fanzan, Sir John of Benicki, nice to have you. There's Sir Joseph of Agliato, our Sergeant at Arms, Sir Dino of the Model Railway Shed. We have Monsville Railway is here, Sir Chris of Volleys 56. Hope you are all doing well. There's Andy81E. Hello, Sir Andy, how are you? Let's see, that is the people I've seen on chat come in. And there's Ben from Eagle Creek. So a few more are starting to come in. Now we're on live chat, so I can look at it here and not over there. So, yeah, it's been a very, very hectic week. I've had a lot of appointments, and they just keep occurring in the middle of the afternoon. I try to watch one of my favorite friends and channels, Richard Brown, Trains in the Attic, and he does an Advent live feed every day. Normally he's on Wednesday, but he does every day for Advent, and it's always fun to watch what he's building and working on. Hello, Von Don Eisenbahn and Raymond Legs. Hello. Lee from Anfield Road. A fellow Anthony from Middleport Junction. How are you? And I keep missing it. And I have been really absent from YouTube. I don't know how much the people I follow would notice, but I'm either commenting a day or two after you've posted videos, where normally I comment within a couple of hours. But yeah, I've just been busy. There is, like I said, I've had some various doctor's appointments. I had an eye appointment this week because it's time to replace these glasses and get a better prescription, because I just keep getting more and more blind. I keep getting blinder and blinder. And somebody said, hi, Eric. Interesting. And I haven't even started. Now, yesterday I was off YouTube all day because I had Cayenne. And I had Cayenne all day because instead of him going home at 5 o'clock when his mom comes to pick him up, we went to our local zoo, and I posted a couple of shorts. I actually have a small 5-minute video as well to go with the model train exhibition we saw. I mean, there was one layout. A somewhat local club puts up a big O-scale Christmas layout for our zoo. Does a thing called Lights Before Christmas, which they start the day after Thanksgiving and they run to New Year's. And just they have all kinds of Christmas lights all up through the zoo, and it's really cool. And my daughter likes to take Cayenne to see this stuff. And so we all go along. We go in as a family and we just have fun. So it was kind of nice. Hey, Andy Dobson. Hello, Andy Dobson. How are you? Yeah, so there was a layout there, but I'm also working on something I really don't want to talk about because I don't know if I talk about it here now. I don't want expectations, but I am working on something I'm hoping I can do as a sort of a Christmas present. We'll see how it happens. Hey, Jean Ricard, there you go. Jean, you popped off my, when I was going through the names, you had popped off my list, so I didn't see you there. So yeah, it's just been, we're trying to get ready for Christmas. Of course, Joy still has not fully recovered from her flu that she had last week, and I guess technically even into this week. And then she's having a wonderful day at work today, according to her messages to me, because she's one of 3 teachers at her grade level, and the other 2 called out today. So Joyce is on her own. The school tried to get her to cover all 3 groups of students, and Joyce said, no, my group is supposed to be taking a test, and I can't cover 45 kids in one classroom when 15 of them are supposed to be taking a test. And doing some other things. And her school administration, I guess, was not too keen on her doing that. But, you know, at least where we are, teachers have a right to say, no, I do not want to cover additional classes. They couldn't get, and they couldn't get substitutes. You know, I don't know, you know, in the UK and in Germany, I know they don't really do substitute teachers. Other teachers in the building will cover those students. But in America, or at least in our school system, we have people that sit at home and wait to be called and said, we need you to come in. And of course, they only get paid on the days they work. So it's a tough job being a substitute teacher. In the old days, you had to work as a substitute teacher until a position opened up, and then you came in as a, 'cause, 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 ' teacher under review, and then after 90 days, you became a full-time teacher. You were granted full contract status after 90 days. You have supply teachers. Okay. I know in Germany, as far as I know, they don't really do substitute teachers. They just have other teachers at the school that are free at that time period will cover the class. Now, I do know sometimes they won't have anybody free and they'll just tell the kids, you're free. That would never happen in America. That would never happen. But anyhow, so slowly gathering. The big news is, before I go to the trains, I did want to share one thing with you. Let's see if we've got it here. Ta-da! Märklin is getting a head start on the new product for 2024. They already announced a new train coming out, and you can kind of see it here. You know, the actual train is in the top picture here. This is called the Desiro or Desiro, built by Siemens, electric multiple unit. And this is slightly different than something else I'm going to show you that's related to all this. I got to get my screen here so I can move this. So there's a computer rendering supplied by Siemens, but it's already got an article number, and they're releasing it in two forms, which is typical of Märklin. They're releasing the Deutsche Bahn Regio form, and then they're releasing one for the Baden-Württemberg version of Deutsche Bahn trains. So they're really cool here. So it's a mixture of two control cabs, of single level control cabs, and then double-decker cars in the middle. So Märklin is releasing this. So let me pull this back up. So yeah, Märklin is releasing this. Now, having said that, I got an email this week. Actually, I got two emails yesterday morning, in fact, when I got up. And I was notified that something related, and hopefully this will show up on here. I'm not seeing my own screen here. There we go. Yep, that's working. Yeah, unfortunately, you can see what I paid for. Actually, that's not what I paid for it. I paid a lot less. But this came in, finally, after 16, 17 months since I pre-ordered it. This has arrived at my shop and should be here, hopefully, next week. How soon next week, I don't know, because they didn't ship it today yet. So I would say at the earliest it would be next Thursday, and probably not till Friday or the following Monday. That's at the earliest, because they're obviously backed up with Christmas orders, and FedEx is shipping, and this time of year FedEx falls days and days and days behind. So I may not see this for 2 weeks yet. Yes, they're designed for the European accessibility rules. Hey, Randall Ellison is here, and our Glaswegian Andrew 156. Nice to have you guys here. Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, this is on the way, plus the extra car, the other middle car. But if you look at the control cabs are double-decker as well. Whereas on the new Märklin release, it's not two levels on the control cabs. So it's basically the same idea. This is the twin decks version, and now you have the Desiro version. But I don't know if anything's ever worth the wait. It's annoying when you have to wait as long as you do when you pre-order something. And like when I pre-ordered the ICE4 from Märklin, it took 2 years before they finally got it out to people. That was frustrating. And I do have instant gratification needs. But, so anyhow, that's kind of exciting because I'm finally going to have this. So that leaves one last item on my 2023 order list to come in, and I'm hoping it will show up next week, but we'll see. Where the very tall can look out. Indeed. So anyhow, today, what have we got going on today? And I added myself here in the bottom corner. I have been so busy, it was hard to come up with a theme. And then I just thought, well, what do I run? And I realized that I had Kyan with me on yesterday morning. And he came downstairs and I said, Kyan, we didn't change out trains on Tuesday and we got to pick what trains to run. And I thought, well, I'm going to run the Railjet. So I got the Railjet, the Austrian Railjet out. I said, Kyan, why don't you help me pick out a train? And the first thing he did was he looked at the locomotives and he picked out the ÖAMTC, the Austrian AAA, motorist club. And then he picked Beethoven. So I said, that's 3 Taurus I've got running. Do I want that many Taurus running? And then I said, well, what the heck? I'm just going to run all my Taurus. And so that's how we came up. So today it's sort of a... even though we're in the time of Sagittarian, which is my time, I'm a Sagittarian, we're celebrating Taurus today. So I will immediately say it before people type it in. Obviously, the ÖAMTC there, that is actually a Railjet locomotive. It would not be pulling freight, but it's pulling freight. And the Beethoven locomotive, as far as I know, would not pull freight. It was a passenger car, but that was a while ago, and maybe now it does a little bit of everything. But yeah, so we've got Beethoven pulling freight as well. And then way in the back, we've got a Class 650. Now, I test ran everything. There were a couple of interesting things going on with my Central Station 3 today. It started reloading. On its own, it just started rereading and reloading a bunch of my decoders. Now, I read them as I checked at the same addresses they had, but I don't know why it was rereading them. Like it was installing them for the first time. I don't know. It might be one of the new glitches, one of the glitches from this upgrade that they installed last week. But I hadn't had any problems with it until, and again, we'll find out. Things were test running fine, but we will see. So let's get these guys in motion. So there's the Austrian Railjet, and we'll just put the Czech Railjet in motion with that. And then we will get the Austrian, the red Taurus here. Is pulling my Austrian IC, EC rake of cars. Test running was fairly smooth. Whoop, I forgot to change direction on him. I don't think I want him going too fast. He is a Railjet, but we're not doing high-speed freight. So I'm going to slow him down. And then I got to get Beethoven on the road here. How you doing, Beethoven? And just let him stare at you as he goes past. All right, let me catch back up with the chat. Did I see Raymond Anthony came in? Hi, Raymond Anthony. Indeed, Monsville, it's rule number 1. Hey, Curly, how you doing? Did I see Chesty Trains is here? Hello, Chesty Trains. Awesome to have you here. Oh, you bought that CD Cargo 372. I was so tempted to buy that, but if I'm going to buy some Czech locomotives, I've got a couple of others I want to buy before I buy that one. Nice to have you here, Chesty Trains. But on Joyce and my last trip to Germany this past June, where were we at? I think we had passed through Munich. We had stopped off at Munich. No. Yeah, we went through Munich, and our train stopped in Munich on our way from Stuttgart to Salzburg, and we stopped off at Munich for a few minutes. And off on one of the sidings was the Beethoven Taurus, which I thought was really cool. Joyce and I were like, look, there's the Beethoven. Andy, did you check the tires? It's proper wobbles in one direction and judders in the other. So yeah, that, in my very limited knowledge opinion, that sounds like one of the wheel or axles is maybe not to measurement. Want to send out greetings to background people. I don't know, Alan Wiles had been sick with COVID and some other stuff and has kind of just been taking a little bit of time off. Whoops, did I? No, wrong one. Come on, Beethoven. Get to work there. Let's get you cranking it up. I want you running a little faster. All right, so let's go to the multi-view for a bit. And there you can pick which camera you want to stare at. Hey, James Galton, thank you for coming in, Sir James of Dundas. And lest I forget, I forgot to turn, see, I did check cameras, but I forgot to adjust a couple. And yes, I do have the floor ready to go. What chord am I? Okay, right off the bat, we get a derailment. Dude, where are you derailed? Move this gear out of the way. Don't mind me, guys. I just abandoned the show. That's all. Dude, you did it again. What is going on? Why are you doing we'll try one more time. Oh. Well, sorry about that, folks. A little bit of an issue there. My Azuma is acting like an idiot. It seemed to run okay last night when I ran it, but the second car keeps derailing. The one behind the power car, it keeps derailing. But at least we got the Mallard going, and he's pulling some British rail wagons. Hey, Leslie, how are you? Nice to have you here. But my Azuma keeps derailing, so I can't see what it is. Oh, sorry to hear that, Monsville. Sadly, sometimes the best solution is not the best solution. Yep, I'm running a whole bunch of Taurus. Would that make them Taurier? Oh, you just got an A4, Chris. That's cool. Wow, an issue with the train crew. Yeah, now my Beethoven is not a powerful puller. It's Jagerndorfer COlelction locomotive, which usually makes pretty good stuff. But it does not like pulling a lot of cars. So pulling this big freight train, it's probably not as happy as it might want to be. I mean, it's doing all right. It's pulling them, but it just seems to be running a little slower than I think it should be running. But yeah, that's But my son Kyan likes the yellow. That was the first one he picked out. That one, he picks out the ÖAMTC. And I go, Kyan, which locomotives? I take him up to my shelf back here where I have my locomotive set up. Which one do you want to run? And the first one he points to the yellow one. And I pick it up and I say, okay, can you carry it gently over to my table for me? So he carries it. You know, he's got both hands. He's being very careful, and he sets it on my table here. And he says, "It's cool." And I'm like, okay, I'll make sure I run that one for you today, Kyan. Hey, Dirk is here. Hey, Dirk, how are you? Just no matter where you see that Taurus, it's always staring back on you. It's the only train that when you rail fan it, it rail fans back. Hey, Tim JD's here. How you doing? Looks like you're in detention. Why would you be in detention? Hey, Chris, model train aficionado. Huh. I need to switch those around. Hey, Rainbow Bell, how are you? But yeah, I mean, it's the same old thing. You're never, on a live stream, you're never late. You get in when you can get in. Like I said, this week, and I understand because I have felt bad about missing Richards so much this week, but it's just been one of these. Okay, so we're just having all kinds of fun with the UK trains today. I've got to work on something, so I'm just going to see what's happening and why they're not working. Talk amongst yourselves. Study for the test. What the hell? Come on, UK trains. It's happening in the same spot. I can't win. It's going to be one of those days today. Oh, well. Sorry about that, guys. The Azuma, and it keeps derailing in the exact same spot. It's the second car, the first passenger car behind the control cab, and it's derailing in the same spot, so I'll have to look at that track more closely. It didn't do it yesterday when we ran it, but it's doing it today. I'll have to see what it is. Hey, Graham, how are you, Graham? Sorry, I've got so much on my head. I'm not really I'm surprised none of my trains have blown up, knock on wood, because I am heavily distracted this week. Hey, Mark, just popping in before your dad's taxi service starts. Oh, I understand that. I miss those days. What is the driving age over in your part of Ireland, Mark? Because my kids could get licenses at 16, but I made my kids wait till 17 before I would let them get their licenses, just because it's expensive to have another kid on your insurance. Hey, Märklin Steve, hello. No, and I'm not going to get the wireless. I was debating on it. I even mentioned it to Joyce as a Christmas present. And, but to me, the wireless remote, the wireless mobile station isn't worth it. For the price you pay, why pay when it's now free to do this? And I will come up here and do this. I've got my phone, and bam. So I've got my Central Station 3 on my phone, and of course I can go mobile. So I don't need the wireless. I've already got a wireless controller now. I mean, I do like having the mobile stations too, but I've got enough mobile on my, I've got enough on this. So to me, it just makes, having the Central Station 3 on the phone just makes it that much easier. So to me, there's just no point in it. Yeah, and that's the thing, Donegal Dad. Because my kids either drove our car, they didn't have their own car. But like any parent, when your kids when you can afford, and I understand that. I made my son wait a year longer to get his driver's license because we couldn't afford. I had my 2 daughters already on our insurance, and that was painful enough. We went up to a 3rd car. Because we had me, Joyce, and 2 daughters all driving, and daughters had jobs, and that was the only way we could do that, is because they had to help pay for insurance. But my poor son is like, son, until my daughter Lynn and then my daughter Lynn got married, and so I could take her off my insurance, and so my son could go on. Yeah, this is the same phone I brought to the UK. It's my folding phone, my Z Fold. So that's my Z Fold. I just got to get used to it. Hey, Dicey, Middleport Junction is going to be taken off. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Always appreciated. Love it when people come in to visit. Like I said, I'm being aboard today. I don't have any great stories to tell you. I just, I have been just absolutely in knucklehead mode. And I'm also messing with this. And why am I not showing trains? Sorry, guys. Absolutely stupid on my part. Hey, Clive, how are you? I'm trying to sort something out here. There we go. That one. And Taurus. Where's the... I do have a train upstairs running around my Christmas tree. I've got my Christmas train running. Next week, a week from today, will be Steam Palooza, where I run all my steamers on the layout, including the Christmas train. I'll bring the Christmas train down from the Christmas tree, and I'll have that going. I'll have the two Rheingolds going. I'll have the Flying Scotsman going. I'll have the Prussian P8 going. And then I'll try to figure something else out as well. I never got the motorcycle license. I've ridden motorcycles, but I never got a motorcycle license. Just because when Joyce and I were young and married, even though a motorcycle is cheaper to operate, we really needed cars, and we couldn't afford a car and a motorcycle. And then when we needed a second vehicle, it needed to be a second car because we had kids and somebody was dropping the kids off at daycare or school, and the other one was picking them up from daycare or school. Joyce and I tried to live as a one-car family for a while, and it really didn't work. We had one car when we got married, and we had one car when my daughter Lynn, my oldest child, was born. But very quickly we realized we needed a second car. And then I did buy my Dodge Charger, the Charger you see on my phone. You know, the Charger, that Dodge Charger on my phone, and I had that for a few years, but that was not a second car, although it was a second car. I drove it, but it was, and I would drive it, pick up kids, and do this and that, but there was a time where that car was only driven for fun and doing something, going to special events with it. Hey, Ray Ron, welcome back. Glad to have you here. I got my driver's license at 16. And been driving ever since. I bought my first car about 5 months after I got my license, because my dad was tired of me asking him could I have the car, because I grew up in a family of 5 kids and my dad had one car and a motorcycle. And fortunately for me, my 3 older sisters did not get their driver's licenses before I did. I actually was the first of my siblings to get a driver's license. My dad tried to teach my oldest sister how to drive, and I think after 5 lessons he quit. And he never tried to teach any of us other kids how to drive. My sister Tina scared him off so much, he didn't. So my Uncle Dale, and back then we had driver's ed at school where they took you out and drove. It was part of school. You didn't have to pay for it. It was a class you could take after school. And so I did that. And so I got my license, no thanks to my dad. But, you know, when I first got my license, my dad was, well, don't think you're going to be driving the family car and going out with your friends and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever, Dad. You know, and then the first weekend where I'm like, Saturday morning, Dad, I got to be at the bowling alleys and you got to take me. He's like, drive yourself. So then I was and then my dad, of course, my mom and dad figured out that certain errands that need to be run could be passed off. My dad didn't have to run and pick up the stuff Mom forgot at the grocery store or stuff my dad forgot somewhere. Anthony, while you're out, Dad, can I take the car and go over to my friends or something? Yeah, and while you're out. So I was quickly driving. And then I was working and I saved up money to buy a car. And any car I was going to buy, my father had to approve. And every car I found, he found critical problems that no way, no how. And then he made me buy a $50, $60 junker from a neighbor. No, $100. I sold it for $60. This POS, this Ford POS, that was rusted and in crap shape. And my dad told Etches, you're going to learn how to fix cars with this one. Okay, so you're going to replace all the brakes. So he takes me out, we buy disc brakes, and he teaches me how to put brakes on the car. Okay, it needs a new wiring system. You're going to get under here and you're going to do all this. It's like, and you were not letting me buy other cars because you thought they had all these problems. Well, those other cars were $500 or $400. You paid $100 for this. Okay, Dad. But yeah, I did learn how to fix cars. I mean, whatever I wasn't helping him fix on his cars that he had over the years, I had to learn how to do it on my car. I flunked my first driver's test, but that's because the officer that was with me to grade me, because in Ohio, the test is given by the State Highway Patrol, so they go out with you. I did a open left-hand turn, meaning, now in America, of course, it would be the same thing as doing an open right-hand turn. In other words, I didn't have the arrow. I did not have an arrow, so I have to concede right away. Well, there's a car up the road. And I've got plenty of room, and I go around the corner. She flunked me on that. She said I almost caused an accident. I was like, that car was nowhere near. You turned left in front of an oncoming vehicle. The oncoming vehicle was plenty of distance away. They didn't have to slow down. They didn't have to brake or do anything. They didn't even beep their horn. So they felt it was a fair turn. But yeah, she flunked me on it. So I had to take it again a week later. And Mark is leaving. Sorry, I'm a little late catching up on that. Goodbye, Mark. Mushrooms on toast. Oh, yuck. I don't like mushrooms, sorry. All right, let's start bringing in some of the big cans. Yeah, now for those of you that have been paying attention to the reveal, and you're like, where are you going to put your deer? mobile show. Whoops. Why is this camera not working? It says it's on. Huh. Well, apparently I won't show it to you, or at least this way. Let's go the other way. Huh. That's weird. Why are you not working? Well, bummer. Guess I forgot to check that camera. Alright, but I'll do this one. So here is the herd of deer I already had. And now I have got 6 deer from Noak and 2 deer from Fowler. So there's all my deer and then some of my other woodland animals. This is my only woodland scenic. This is my only little woods here. Well, there's some more here and some more over here. But, so yeah, it's been a lot of deer. Alright, let's get back to cameras. How many cameras do I have? I have, let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15. The GoPro. When I have the GoPro on, I have 16 cameras that I can show on my layout. I have 16 cameras, of which on my busy page, I have 12, sometimes 13 of them. And then I have 2 other cameras, like this one that I call the mobile view, that for some reason is not working today. I forgot to check it. Or was it just closed? Let me double check. Let me see if it's on now. Nope, still not on. Yeah, I'll have to mess. Oh, there it came back on. There we go. Okay. Got it working. So, yeah, counting this one and my GoPro and that, there's 15 cameras. But that's my mobile cam. That's so when if I want to show you something, I can go, oh, look here. Oh, look here. Like, there's all my Hot Wheel Dodges. There's a 2004 map of the German rail system. There's all my Lord of the Ring figures. My tabletop wargaming guys back there. That's all my Lord of the Ring stuff. And you're looking down Bahnhofstrasse of Delmenhorst. But this is my mobile cam. My map of Europe in German. My map of Germany. One of them. And then my locomotive shelf up there. And my trains over there. Yep, that's a little sand I picked up to add some more visualization to the videos when I'm making them. And as you guys notice, Kine has now appeared in 3 of them, I think. the first time Cayenne appeared in one of the videos, that was just a lark. I was talking about I needed to film it, and Cayenne was over on, I think it was Sunday. And they said, well, why don't you have Cayenne do it with you? And Kiwi Davis here. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Hello, Kiwi. But there, you can get Beethoven staring at you that way. And then Beethoven staring at you this way. Well, I would disagree with you, Chris, but there's no point debating such things. Everybody's got their preferences. Let's do this for you for a few minutes. But, see, the funny thing is, watching the Taurus on camera, it looks like it's going faster than it looks watching it here. I look on the camera and go, okay, it's doing a good speed. I look here as it's going next to me, I'm like, looks a little slow. Oh, and I forgot about this. I want to thank Model Railway Shed Dino for the cool Christmas card from Finland. That was really nice. And Andy from March West Junction TMD sent us a Christmas card. Thank you for that. Steve, I have 2 wires going to the main outer loops. I then have 2 more wires that go to the parking area and 2 more wires that go to the ICE high-speed section. So the main part of the layout has one set of wires, 2 wires. And then I have extra wires that run to the Bremen parking area, and then the other part connects on the well, let me show it to you. Mobile cam again. If you look over there, you can see, I don't know how well you can see that, but there is a track that branches off that goes into that siding over there where I park all my ICEs and my Austrian Railjet. And that has wires that are connected just past the turnout. They come up the other way and they connect just past the turnout to make sure there's additional power going into that section. Or enough power, not additional, enough. So there's one set that connects on that triple there. Oh wait, so there's 2 because it goes just in front of the 3-way split there and there. And then there's one that connects right where that locomotive is now. One connects there. And that's it. So one on that branch off. I'm going to make you guys all sick with that. I'm sorry. Okay, Raymond. The Piko Taurus. All right. My Czech Railjet is a Piko, and that's from their high-end version. It's not their hobby level. And it runs very nicely, obviously. And then, so I have five Taurus. One is Piko. One is Jagerndorfer COlelction, and then the other three are Roco. One is Piko, three are Roco, one is Jagerndorfer COlelction. And of them, the Piko might be the best pure runner, but it is well, it's not even that new anymore. But that Piko that just passed to my, as you're looking at the screen upper right, the blue Railjet's going through there. Yeah, it, the new red OBB, it's a good runner from Roco. That's a good one. It doesn't like going up the incline with this rake of 8 cars. These 8 Austrian IC EC cars, they're big and they're heavy. They are some of my heavier freight cars. I don't know why, but they are. So it's pulling a lot of weight and it handles it well. So I give all credit to it. Yeah, you've got the Piko caught bus. I've got the Märklin one. But you can see that going up the incline. Now, going up the incline the other way, because there's actually an incline here too going up the other way. I always consider that going up the incline, but technically they go up an incline if you're going this way. Like the Czech Railjet is going up the incline this way. But for some reason, it's that back incline back here that is where the trains struggle. Going up the other way, they don't struggle. And they're the same grade, they're the same length. They're both done with that Woodland Scenics preset percentage. It's a 2% incline. But for some reason, somehow the one in the back, the long run in the back, they just struggle. Now, Jean Ricard and a couple others have suggested that maybe it's a power issue, that maybe that's one of the farthest away places from power, and I should run additional power line to it. And I actually have an extension wire to do that. I just have to get under there and move all the furniture that's under there, and then I have to pull up the track, and that's kind of hard to do. But which is why I haven't done it since I got this, because that's a pain in the butt, because I don't have an access carved out on that one. I've got an access carved out on this one. You can see it where that little green and muddy hill is in the middle of the pink area. That's an access point. If I need to work on the track up in that area, I go under the table here and I just pop that up and I can work on the track there. I can work on the track or the layout there. I don't have an access center carved into this yet. I need to do it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure where the best place to do it is, because I got to be able to fit my body through that access, which I can do now. I weigh 40 pounds less than when I cut that access. Try to find Le Capital and CoRail coaches. Me? What is my worst runner? Graham, that is a great question. What is my worst runner? My red Roco 218. Hang on, I'll get it. This is my worst runner. Anybody who's followed my channel consistently, and I know you're on again, off again because of job and everything, but yeah, people hear me complain about this guy a lot. This is my red Roco. I just recently got a Märklin one, which is much better. This is one of my heaviest locomotives, but even when it runs solo, it always seems to be slow, and I've tried to adjust the CV values. I've adjusted the speed value. It just does not seem to want to run very fast, even by itself. Now, it goes up. Uh-oh. Huh, why is that suddenly happening? OBS is disconnected a couple of times recently. But this guy, and after this guy, it's my Taurus. Although my Taurus is doing well. My Taurus runs well by itself. It gets up to speed. But the minute it pulls more than 5 or 6 cars, it seems to really, I don't want to say struggle, it just seems to not be able to get up to speed. And it's supposed to be a moderate to moderately high speed locomotive. You know, it's a passenger car, regional, and some mid-level express traffic, and it just does not handle, like if I have it pulling 5 passenger cars, it's fine. If I have it pulling 6 or 7, it struggles. If I have it pulling 8, it really struggles. Yeah, my OBS just disconnected. It disconnected 3 times last week, and now it just did it today. Now, just to let you know, it's not, quote, my computer. For example, with all these cameras running, all of this right now, my CPU is at 15.2%. Here, I'll make you guys sick again. Come back here. So there you can see. Now notice my CPU went down because I'm doing infinity. I went from 13 cameras to 2. So my CPU usage went down. My CPU workload went down. So I told you it was 15.8, but yeah, it's 13. You see it bounces between 13.5 and 14.5. If I go to the 16 camera screen, then it bounces between 15 and 17%. But that is nothing. When you're running this many cameras, several of them in 4K, that's nothing. Hey, did I just see Andy March West Junction came in? Awesome. How are you, sir? Was the Beethoven Taurus, because Tauruses have, from my understanding, now Raymond, I concede you know a fudge of a lot more about any of this than I would ever know. But from what I've gleaned and learned is that some of the Taurus, like my Railjet Taurus, is faster than the ICE. The Austrian Railjet Taurus can go up to 280 kilometers an hour. But some of these Tauruses are, and that just sounds wrong, you know, it should have the Greek or Latin root. But some of these Taurus are speed restricted, and they don't go as fast. Like, the one, I believe the Beethoven, I believe, is 180 or 200. I'd have to look. And I'm not talking what the company manufactures. I mean that it is speed restricted. Graham, I don't know what the RAM is. Well, hello, Mr. Everything Collectible. Welcome in. Let's knight you, as this apparently is your first time here. I now declare you a knight of the Rhomboid table. Mr. Everything Collectible, you are free to put the link to your channel in. A lot of people in this chat, although we're a little smaller today than normal. Although we're up to lower 30s. Normally we're around 40. All right, Leslie, enjoy your nap. Take care. But yeah, you can post a link, and many of these people will check out your channel, and maybe you'll gain some subscribers. Yeah, now see, that part I don't know about the new cab design. I know that there are basically, there's, for example, the Taurus that is pulling the IC here, the red Taurus, that cannot go to, mechanically, it can't even get to the same speed as the Railjet. And even the Czech Railjets cannot do the same speed, but I think that's more a legal issue than a mechanical restriction. Hey, Kieran's here. Hi, Kieran. Good to have you, my friend. No, that's cool. You got 3 of them coming at you. 2 of them going off to your side, 1 going around in front of you. And there's a 4th. So we had a 3 meeting and then the 3 meeting again. And then you got the guy in the back. And then you got this guy. So now you got 1, 2, 3, kind of 4 met there for a second. I don't know why it was up. It shouldn't have been up. I don't know how. I just put it back down. Sorry, Andy. Just as I read you typing it, that it was up, I was putting it down. Like, why is that up? Yeah, right now my RAM is running about 2.4 gigabytes, if that means anything to you. So it's got about 56. But this has a ton of RAM in it, too. The only Europe trip we have planned next year, Andy, is Joyce and I are going to Getz next year since we couldn't get there this year. That's the only plans to go to Europe. Our big trip that we take every June is to Australia this year. We're going to go to Australia and visit our friend Artie, and hopefully if Artie's in the Sydney area, but there are some people that are a couple of hours away that we're talking about. Maybe we could all get together depending on time and date. Some other YouTubers we know from Australia. He's got a few that are rather close to him. We're really looking forward to meeting Richard DeMag. But yeah, we're going to be in Australia for about 2.5 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to ride kangaroos. Actually, I'm planning on boxing a kangaroo. And then I'm planning on being buried somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. Because you can't box with a kangaroo. Kangaroos will kill you. Kangaroos are the only animal outside of maybe certain apes where they actually flex. You ever see those pictures of kangaroos and they just like... Rrr! You know, every time I see a kangaroo doing that, I just want to hear like a professional wrestler voice going up. Well, until you meet Gene, what are you going to do when these pythons wrap around you? It is so funny because kangaroos flex and you just see those muscles across their chest and down their arms just go freaking hard. It is so funny to watch kangaroos do that. Well, I tell you, brother. Now, as far as the cameras I have here, these are all off of Amazon here in the U.S., and of course, you're in Australia. I paid between 39 and 69 American dollars for these, so that would be about, what, 65 to 100 Australian dollars. It would be awesome. Again, until we make it to Getz, until Joyce and I make it to Getz, we're never, ever going to feel... We're not going to get over missing it this year. People, I know, everybody says, life goes on, you get over it, you know... But this was something that I had been looking forward to since I first suggested doing it and then decided I was going to do it. And then finally Joyce said she was going to go along. But from the time it was decided for sure I was going, and I'm talking to my friends over across the pond, as we say. And, the disappointment is massive. And I am, for lack of a better term, I'm a little depressed by it. I'm a little upset by it. Dude, why is your pantograph back up? Well, if I were going to do Australians and anything new, Matt Clark, I don't have anything specifically Matt Clark. I don't have any series planned, but I actually already have the plot I want to do. The next Matt Clark will be a Murder on the Orient Express parody, but it won't be coming anytime soon. It's going to be all the famous train detective movies, but it's like Murder on the Orient Express. But there'll be references to James Bond, From Russia with Love, and just any famous action adventure movies that took place on trains, but it will all be done with a Matt Clark shtick. Because I have solved the plot problem of explaining how all my characters got over there. But I have not thought about writing it. I just have notes written down in a notebook. No jokes. Well, okay, a few jokes. Von Ryan's Express would be an interesting something we could potentially include. But yeah, but the thing is, when I do Matt Clark, I do like to satire and parody some things, but I don't want it to be such a blatantly overt, because, for example, there's already a parody of Murder on the Orient Express. Peter Falk was in it. But it's a parody of Murder on the Orient Express. I forget what it's called. And then, of course, you have comedies about trains like Silver Streak with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Now, yeah, so... But yeah, Joyce and I are still very bummed. 2 months later, we are still very bummed we did not go to Getz, because that was a very special trip for us, and we were going to meet so many people that we had not met before. People we talked to on YouTube or via email or Facebook messaging, but that we have not met in person. And there are people, I know of at least 3 people that went to Getz, who bought tickets to go to Getz only after they heard Joyce and I were going to be there. They were going to Getz to meet us. Okay? And then we canceled out. Joyce and I felt guilty because those people probably would not have gone to Getz if we weren't going. It's one thing for the people that were going to Getz anyhow. But there are 3 people that, oh, you guys are going to be at Getz? Okay, I'm coming. And then we canceled out. We had to, okay? It wasn't like we did something dirty. We had to cancel out. Well, talk to Clive about that. Because Joyce and I are already looking ahead at trips. And we're looking at Getz in 2024. We're doing Australia in June and then Getz in October. And if we make it to Getz, then we're probably going to do Germany again in 2025 and the UK in 2026. Because right now the plan is we're going to do the UK in 2025 and Germany in 2026. But if we make it to Getz, that might, get a chance to meet some of those people. But again, we'll just wait and see. The thing is, I went to Germany every year from 2013 to 2017. 2003 to 2017. I was in Germany every year. And then we took 2018 off to do some work on the house that just kind of killed our travel budget. And then we came back in 2019. And we had a trip planned in 2020, canceled because of COVID. 2021, the border still wasn't open for us. And what pisses me off is there are some people who still got over there, and I don't know how they did, because we looked into it, and the border for Germany was closed, but these other people are putting up videos like, here we are in Germany for our 2021 trip. I was like, you're Americans, how did you get into Germany? Because the border was closed. We couldn't get flights over. And by that time, Joyce and I had the 2 vaccines and wound up getting the 3rd. But, so we missed out. And then, because we were supposed to do Germany in 2020 and we were going to go to the UK in 2021. And we kept putting the UK trip off. When we were finally able to travel again, we just said to heck with it and did the UK. And I will not compare trips, but the UK trip was one of the nicest trips Joyce and I ever took. A full 4 weeks in the United Kingdom. And I think we ran into one person that was unpleasant. Everybody else in the UK was just beautiful. And the UK's got this reputation, it's not necessarily friendly, but everywhere we went, it was just beautiful people. Joyce and I love the UK. As you've heard many times, Joyce fell in love with the city of Cardiff. Cardiff is probably now one of the top 4 cities Joyce would move to if we moved. Hey, Jason the Train Freak, how are you? Nice to have you in. So we did the UK in 22, which meant when we went to Germany this year, it had been the first time in 4 years, which is the longest stretch it had ever been since I started going to Germany. You know, I had missed a year, and then I missed 1 year. So, and Germany is a second homeland to me. I love Germany. When I get to Germany, it feels like coming home as opposed to going on a trip. And it's a beautiful country. But we saw this with the UK. We enjoyed every minute in the UK. And that was with all the train strikes, the industrial actions. We enjoyed that. We didn't enjoy the strikes, but we just loved everything. But then the trip became even more special because we got to meet Tim J.D. And that's probably why we look so highly on our trip. That's probably why we have such super strong memories. We met Tim J.D. We met Philip Page. We met. What is going on? Why are you disconnecting? And we're back. So I don't know if it's something with OBS or YouTube, because my YouTube the whole time said excellent connection, but my OBS disconnected. Now OBS did just upgrade last week, and I wonder if there is a bug in their upgrade, because OBS just glitched. But yeah, so going back to that, I met Jim, I met Lee from Anfield Road, and Jackie, and we had a beautiful day together. Spending a long day with Jim from Hover Motion, because I have a bro crush on Jim from Hover Motion. I have a massive bromance crush on Jim from Hover Motion. And his trains and his layout, because he was the first UK guy, English-speaking guy running European trains I came across years ago when I got onto it. Hey, Mick, howdy. And Dave from Scott Rails, I enjoyed your YouTube videos. From Scotland, from Bonnie, Scotland. And you know, Jim has such a lovely family. His wife Donna and his 2 daughters. Just a great family. And then we also had Alan Wiles drive us all over northern Wales and spent the day with Alan Wiles and his amazing wife Babs, and got to meet his daughter and his grandson. And again, just, you know, all these YouTubers we met were wonderful. Hey, there's Artie. Good morning, Artie. And Ray Bertelson, welcome in. But we had all these people, but just the people in the restaurants, people on the buses, the people in Wales that when Joyce and I were just sitting by the bay in Bangor with our luggage waiting for our room to open up, who just stopped and talked to us. Oh, travelers, where are you from? You know. Oh, Graham, I feel so guilty. And I was ready, selfishly, I was ready to go with a mask. And at the time, before Joyce tested positive, but was just starting to feel bad, it's like, we'll tough it out. You know, I was barely, when I tested positive, and I actually tested negative the day we were supposed, the evening after we missed our flight, but that day I tested negative. I tested positive 2 days before, I tested positive the night before, and I tested positive the morning of. But it was so faint. And then the next day, not the day we flew out, the day we would have arrived, I tested negative. But Joyce was deathly sick. Joyce was just miserable. So there's no way we could have traveled. But before Joyce really came down with it, I was selfishly like, I'll go. But then I'm like, I'll give you an example. A couple of our YouTube friends from the UK who might have come up have breathing issues. And what if they got COVID from me? Ooh, there's a 5 train me. Of course, one's already out of the picture, so it went down to 4, now 3, now 2. Yes, David, you saw Beethoven. That is a Class E64 electric locomotive, obviously. It's actually usually a passenger train, but all the locomotives I'm running today are the Taurus class locomotive, as it's called. Technically, it's the E64, the EU64, the E64U, E64S. Oh, that's right. And see, the main COVID that killed so many people and spread across the country and shut the country down, I never got it. Joyce had a mild case of it, but we had already been vaccinated. But Joyce had a mild case of it. My daughter got it and had a pretty decent case of it, but I never got sick with that. The 2 other strains, but it's the most recent variant that comes across and it feels like a head or an upper chest cold. That's the one I got. And again, those who watched the video where I said I wasn't coming to Getz, I had lost my voice from all the nasal drainage, but I didn't have a fever. I didn't have headaches. My energy was good. I was working out each day. I just was snuffing a lot of loose mucus. That was all in the back of the throat, so I couldn't blow it out. It just kept draining down my throat, and my throat got raw. But Joyce had it and had a fever and was miserable for 2-3 days. And my daughter was she was bedridden sick. But I had no symptoms other than the runny nose. But then Alan Wiles from Dragon Junction had it, and he was in bed for several days. But and it just sucks. I mean, you know, I did lose trips to Germany and, well, 2 trips to Germany because of that. But it was having it and losing the trip to England this past October that depressed me so bad. Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds very cool, David. But you come across and you repair so many. Yeah, well, I was bragging for 3 years. I never had COVID. I never had COVID. I even denied when Joyce says you should test. I was like, no, I'm fine. And then my daughter got really, really sick, and she tested, and she had it, and Joyce looked at me and said, you test. But I've got a pretty good immune system. I've got a bizarre immune system, too. But, yeah, it was just... I could talk forever about the disappointment. And people say, there's always next year. But you know what? I'm going to look at it this way, and I'm going to be very morose and melancholy here. Forgive me if I depress anybody. When Joyce and I were deciding where to travel for 2022, because by that time all restrictions were off, I was at, like, we're finally going to Germany. We're finally going to Germany. But we had been telling friends in the UK, we're coming next year. We're coming next year for 3 years. Because we're going to do, because the original plan was Germany in 2020, the UK in 2021. And then we canceled and we put it off. It's like, okay, well, it'll be Germany in 2021, the UK in 2022. Oh, we can't travel in 2021. All right, it'll be Germany in 2022 and the UK in 2023. And then Joyce just said, let's just do the UK and get over it. It'll be different. You know, we've been to Germany so many times. Let's do the UK. So we changed our minds and decided to go ahead and do the UK in 2022. We went to the UK in 2022 and met all these beautiful people, including Chris Whittingham. And Chris Whittingham was one of our best YouTube friends. One of 20 or 30, but one of them. If we had said, there's always next year to go to the UK and gone to Germany, we would have never met Chris because he passed away 2 months after we met him. And that's the thing. All the people we intended and knew we were going to meet at Getz, can anybody guarantee they'll all be available to come to Getz next year? No. Financial issues? Health issues? You don't know. And that's why I don't like the phrase, there's always next year. That's not always true. You don't know when other things are going to happen. And yeah, I mean, but again, what if Paul Waterman decides to bring his layout to Getz again? And I hear he's planning an expansion of it. So what if he decides to show that at Getz? It would be manic again. It would be packed again. But at least Getz still is more of a train show and not as much as a trade show. Warley hits me, and one of the reasons why we decided to do... the number one reason we decided not to do Warley is because it tends to be at our Thanksgiving time. So we have the big holiday in family. Hey, Eric's here. Hi, Eric. So I'm not a pessimist, but I can easily become one. I tend to be usually a positive person, although some things are stripping that from me. Stay down! Oh, you're bent. You must have clipped something. That's why you're not staying down. What are you bumping that clips you back up? Well, at least now I know something I gotta fix. Pissy Mystic, yeah. I can go into very deep depressions very easily. I am manic depressive. And that's one of the things, people always go, what have you got to be sad about? Manic depressives don't need anything to be sad about. They can be sad about feeling happy. I shouldn't be happy. There's so much tragedy in the world. But that's a problem you fight with manic depression. The difference is I do tend to know how to fight it, but even fighting it can come across as being morose or blue. But you just go through troughs. You just, things are riding good, and then all of a sudden you just kind of, woo! Or you're riding really well, and something really bad like missing gets happens, and the world sucks. The thing is, optimists and pessimists are not contradictory with realists. They, there is no recipe of life. Life happens, and you deal with it. I don't live in a vacuum, and I consider myself very much a realist. But the thing is, what we consider ourselves realist about, it's like people say, I'm a realist, this thing is screwed up. Realism is also recognizing that 95% of the people in the world did nothing wrong today. They loved their children, they hugged their spouse, their lover, their significant other. They worked or they didn't work, they worked in the garden, they did nothing wrong. But most people are like, oh, humans suck, and humans are stupid, and humans are terrible, oh, I hate humans. Well, that's not a realistic viewpoint. The realistic viewpoint is most people are good people. Yeah, and there's that, but that's the problem. Manic depression, is it genetic? My mother was a massive manic depressive, but my mom had so many mental issues. My mother could have kept psychologists busy their entire lives just studying all the issues my mother had. But that's the thing, I talk about, I'm lucky. I mean, I got space to run a massive train layout. I'm able to buy some very cool trains. I'm able to spend some money, put some cameras up like this, and I'm able to be retired at a relatively young age. And look forward to the next step of life. So realistically, I realize that, but manic depression will find even the silliest or stupidest thing to just get into you about. But who I am now is not who I was at 17. And I'm constantly in there's a part of my brain that's forever the 17-year-old me. And we have debates about life. Well, I don't take medicine for it. I have tricks I've learned. And to be honest, Joyce is one of the best medicines for it. Because there are times she won't put up with it, she'll just get your head out of your ass and quit being morose, And then other times, and she understands when to let me ride it, when to kind of stand up and try to force me to look the other way. But, like Dirk said here, it is what it is. And, the people that have the nicest lives in the world can be utterly depressed. Look at how many famous artists or whatever, because you're sensitive. But, I have a lot of people that watch me on YouTube or meet me in real life, And they say, yeah, it's the same guy. And they see me as a very friendly, easygoing guy. And when I talk about how I grew up and where I grew up and the fighting I did, and that I, as a young man, had a very violent temper, they're like, I can't see it in you. You just seem like such a nice guy. It's like, I have that darker half that, you know, that's the, at least I'm not an axe murderer, but I could have been. Well, that's the beauty of model trains and the trap of model trains. Model trains are a wonderful, appealing hobby, especially for people like manic depressives, where it's something you can do on your own, and you can be highly focused, you can be as sensitive or whatever, and if you get pissed off and scream and punch a wall, there's nobody around. And then if you need community, if you need to reach out to other people, you can join a club, or you can go on YouTube and feel a part of the community and still have this wall. You know, I get in front of a camera every Friday and talk to you people. And I babble about nonsense, and people come in. Now, sometimes I get 40, 45 people here to listen to me and watch my trains go round. And sometimes it's not as many. I just had a great string where I had 7 straight weeks of 350 views on the live stream and 50 to 60 likes. And then last week, I didn't break, the last 2 weeks I haven't broken 300, and I haven't broken 45 likes. And I think today's going to be a really low number just based on the numbers I'm seeing flash up here. And it is what it is. I'm surprised I get any views. I'm Friday, early Friday afternoon, my time. So it's, you know, I start at 8 o'clock UK time, which is kind of late in the evening on a Friday. People are going out to dinner. They're hanging out with friends. It's 9 o'clock in Europe. It's bedtime. People go in. And then on top of that, you got to have something interesting. I don't think I'm that interesting to keep drawing people back, but I go here because there are people I like to see. I like to see Tim JD there. I like to see Joseph and Jean Ricard, although he's been quiet. He must have fallen asleep. Well, Jason, when I started, my retirement age was 52. I was going to be able to retire at the age of 52. Then they came in and said, nope, y'all have to go 5 years longer. I had just hit, I was at 21 years in, because we were allowed to leave at 30. I had 21 years in, I'm like, I'm down to single digits. 9 years to go. 9 years to go. And then the state said, from now on, you have to go an extra 5 years. You have to go 35 years. And I'm like, 14 years to go. 14 years to go. And then I still stayed another year. I did 36 and not just 35 because it put me into a slightly higher income bracket for retirement. It bumped my, and again, had I stayed another year, it would have raised it. But the big thing was my last few years as a teacher, we got big raises. They finally, after a wage freeze for 10 years, we got huge pay increases because we had taken pay cuts, and then they froze our wages, and then they finally basically put us back on the level we had before they cut us. And they're bragging about, look at the big raises we gave you. It's like, no, I'm only now making the money I should have been making 10 years ago. But anyhow, so by staying one more year, it affected my retirement greatly. It bumped me like $100 a month retirement. And then if I stayed another year, I would have gone up another $20 a month in my retirement, and that's just not worth it. Another 5 years, you go up another $100 a month. But as it is, I am retired, and I don't I don't miss it. I miss the happy days. I miss the interaction I had with my students, but I don't miss going in. I don't miss fighting with parents. I don't miss dealing with idiot administrators and politicians constantly changing how we're supposed to do this or do that, and having to watch what I say in the classroom because it might offend this parent or that parent. And I'm teaching a mythology class, and I'm getting parents complaining because I literally would have evangelical Christian parents whose kids were put in my mythology class, and they'd be screaming that I was teaching them devil stuff. I'm like, no, we're just studying Babylonian mythology. We're studying Egyptian mythology. Oh, but they would scream and complain. And I'd be like, wait till you get to Greek mythology and we talk about Zeus raping everybody. All right, Andy, thank you for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Raymond, all model trains are toy trains, even the expensive ones. If it's not the actual real thing taking freight or passengers somewhere, it's a toy train. We may not want to admit it, but they're all toy trains. Märklin, everything. And by the way, this may be a first. I would have to go and check all my other live streams. But speaking of Märklin, I am not running a single Märklin locomotive today. As I mentioned earlier, it's 1 Piko Taurus, it's 3 Roco Taurus, it's a Jagerndorfer Taurus, and then I have a Roco DMU running on the middle. So I am not running a single Märklin locomotive or motor unit. It's really weird to realize that, but oh, just as there's nobody there. Anybody there? No. Anybody here? Yeah, a couple of guys here. Hey, and I can do that in 2 seconds, Raymond. I was going to do that low view. And again, from this view, again, you can see all my Lord of the Ring figures. Oh, you can see the Czech Railjet going the other way. It is a beautiful train. My 2 Railjets are going to pass. Let's get them up on the village view real quick. My 2 official Railjets flying past each other. Zoo, there you go. What beautiful trains. 2 of my 3 favorite trains. Livery-wise, it would be impossible for me to pick a favorite loco. I mean, right now I've got so many good ones. Well, Monsville, I've got almost 1,700 subscribers, and my videos get about 100 views. Now, certain of my videos definitely get more views, but like all my advent calendar views, they're getting between 80 and 110 views. And that's because everybody's watching, you know, the people that have 10,000 views on their videos. And we can, you know, YouTube puts up, hey, here's our algorithm and here's how you can increase your viewers. But there's something even YouTube will never admit to, and that's the blind, dumb luck. A channel catches on and boom, 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 boom. There are tricks. But like, you've got great trains. you just put up a video today, but you're also, I mean, at least in my world, just in the last month, I'm all of a sudden seeing you. I've seen you on some chats, and I joined your channel, so now I'm seeing your videos. And it's just, I think networking is, in the long run, how you increase views. But I also know I could triple, quadruple, quintuple my views if I did things differently on this channel. I would double my views if I were just actually building my layout and showing people how, oh, and by the way, here's how you wire this, and here's how you set up this sectional bit, and here's how you do this, and here's how you do that. But that's not what I want to be doing. In fact, basically I want to talk to people, and I'd rather do it like when I'm on Artie stream where people just come up on panel and we talk, but I always try to incorporate the people on because I can lose track of the chat and people have their own chats, but that's fine. But I like to be able to come into the chat and really talk to people. And bye, Jason. Take care. I appreciate you popping in. Always good to see you. But there are so many brilliant people. And there's not enough time in the day to watch them all. And the funny thing is, this sounds bad, but if I have 2 channels to watch and only time to watch one of them, I watch the channel with the fewest viewers. So if I've got, wow, my buddy Tim JD put up a video and Charlie Bishop from Chadwick just put up a video, I'm going to watch Tim and not watch Charlie. If Sam's Trains put up a video and Leslie Gilpin puts up a video, I'm going to watch Leslie. Because I know Leslie, I consider him a friend, and I'm going to watch his video. As cool as... and anybody I'm subscribed to, I watch every video you put up, and there's only about 6 channels where I just don't usually comment on your videos. And sometimes it's... For example, I got a friend that puts up... I've got several friends that can put up anywhere from 5 to 7 videos a day. And what I'll do is I'll just watch each video and then I'll comment on one of them and just say, hey, nice set of videos you put up today. Just because it's a lot of information to take in. And there's other channels I'm also trying to watch. But it just, you kind of get yourself known, show up on live, comment on other people's videos. But again, job, work, and time factor into that. A lot of us got spoiled because we were all sitting at home during COVID, and now everybody's back to work. But my numbers took a downturn when I stopped doing my Märklin shows. When I stopped doing all my, here's how Märklin works, and here's how you wire this, and here's how you do that, because that's what people wanted. They wanted somebody speaking English explaining Märklin. But people started asking me to do things that I didn't want to do on my layout, or to show them how to do things that were going to cost me money to do it, and I'm not a paid channel. You know, I told some people, you send me the wiring and that, and I'll explain how to do it. But I don't want to do it on my layout, and I don't want to go buy the material because I don't want to do it on my layout. But if you buy the material and send it to me, I'll make a video and show you, oh, here's how you wire isolated sections on a Märklin system. I know how to do it. I just didn't want it. You know, and people are like, why didn't you want it? You could have your trains being run by computer and stopping at your stations. My ADD doesn't want my trains. If I want a train to stop at the station, well, I'll do this. Voila! Look, a train stopped at my station. If I want a train to stop at my station, that's what I do. Otherwise, I just like them running. My ADD just likes to see them. And that's why I have all these cameras. I put these cameras in not to do the show, because I had this many cameras before. Well, not this many, but I had 5 or 6 cameras before I started doing live streams, because I wanted to see my layout from angles I can't normally see sitting here at the control center. So sometimes I think it's really cool to say, oh, let's watch this train coming up this. This is a cool view. Okay, nobody's coming up this way right now. But this is cool. Oh, it's kind of cool to have that camera up there and kind of get the broad look over both tables and the middle section. And that's what happens while I'm doing a live stream. Instead of thinking to view the audience, I'm like, oh, I enjoy this view. I think I'll just stare at this view for a while. Oh yeah, I should be talking to people. Your hairy milkshake. But, you know, I have a friend of this channel, and I don't know, he hasn't come into live chat, but he might be watching on back. But he's got over 4,000 subscribers. There was a time where he only had 200 more subscribers than I did, and he just exploded. And he got to the 1 million views on his channel mark and all these things, and I'm like, I think I'm at 220,000 views after 5 years of doing my channel. And he broke 1 million views. But his views are now down compared to where they were last year or the year before. And he's very upset by it. And I can't feel that upset because, dude, you're still getting 5-10 times the views I get. But the funny thing is, even with all his views, he only makes just a little bit more money than I do on YouTube. I make about $220 a year on YouTube. Although, because I put up a couple of videos that got 5,000 views last month, they exploded. I'll make a little bit more this year. Because I had a 28-day period where I made double what I normally make per month. Because, yes, I am monetized. And I'm not monetized to make money. But $200 a year. I'm monetized because they're sticking commercials on my channel anyhow. I might as well get a piece of the pie. Even if it's a rip-off piece of the pie, something's better than nothing. They're throwing commercials on my channel anyhow, whether I'm monetized or not. If I'm monetized, they can put longer commercials, but then I get around that by allowing them to be blocked after so many seconds. But it's, you know, I'm not here to make money. I made money. I'm here to run my trains and babble, and if people come and talk to me, that's what it's about. All right, Dirk, I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I think we're, the kid SMT mainline, he exploded, but he had certain things that we're going to draw in. He works on trains. He's got all kinds of cool trains. He's a young kid. He brings his young friends on. He's got girlfriend and all these things. All these factors come in, and he's enthusiastic, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and he does a lot of things. He's building dioramas. He's building layout. He's got these trains. He really knows his stuff. He does repairs. He covers all the gamuts. And so he got known in the North American train community, because I'd be curious as to who is the biggest North American. Because like in the UK, when it comes to model, strictly people with model trains, because, you know, we talk about Luke Town with 2 million, but Luke Town is model building. He's not just trains, but within the train community. In the UK, I think Sam is the biggest at 135,000. And Everard Junction is at 95,000. Everard Junction's closing in on 100,000. Who else is in that realm of big UK channels? There are channels, American channels, people mentioned to me where they've got like 40 or 50,000, and I've never heard of them because I don't follow many American train channels. I follow American train channels of Americans that came across my channel and became friends of my channel, so I'm friends of their channel. The only trains I don't like are the ones I don't own. Oh, I even like the trains I don't own. Yeah, Charlie is up around 65 to 67,000, I think, now. And I subscribed to Charlie when he was at 28. And I had like 110 subscribers. No, I didn't even have that many. I had like 50 subscribers when I subscribed to Charlie. But Charlie used to answer my comments on his videos, and he hasn't responded to a comment on my video in 3 years. So now I don't comment on him. I don't have a goal. You know, the thing is, when you go onto YouTube, if your goal on YouTube is to get a big channel, 99.999% of you are going to be disappointed because you're not going to achieve what you have in your head. And you talk to most people, the people in that 5, 10, 15,000 subscriber range, most of them will tell you they never expected it. They'll say, I never expected it. There are channels like, okay, I have, and I realize it's comparative, I have almost 1,700 subs now. I was at 1,695, 96 the last I looked. And I will tell you, I never expected to be there. I thought if I broke 200, I figured 50 would cover friends and family. I really thought 50 views would cover friends and family. 50 subscribers. And then I broke 50. Then I broke 75. Then I hit 100. In my first year doing model train stuff, I got up to 200 subscribers in my first year. And I thought, holy cow, and I made this is big. But all the channels I was following had 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers. When I started following Alan Wiles at Dragon Junction, he had 1,100 subscribers, and I had like 60. And I thought, oh my God, 1,100 subscribers. He's a big channel. Now he's over 3,000, I think, and I'm at 1,700. He's still way bigger than me, and he deserves to be. But everybody deserves to be bigger than me. But it's just incredible to think I'm at the size now that I thought was so huge when I was a younger channel, and I still don't feel like a big channel. And I know there are people who watch this video that go, I've got 300 subs, I've got 150 subs, you're a big channel. And I'm like, but I don't feel big because I'm looking at the guy that's got 2,000, 3,000. I would love to break 2,000 now, only because I'm close to it and I think it would be cool. But it would probably take me 2 more years to break 2,000. I'm about to break 1,700 and I think that's amazing. But now, the real star of the show is here.
Oh my.
You can wake up, Jean Ricard. Joyce is here.
That's going to scare him. So, hi, Sean.
Is he here?
Yeah, he just said hi, so great. We woke you up. I appreciate it, though, bud, but don't stay up too long. So, hi, Artie. Hi, Randall. Hi, Valley. Hi, Andy. Oh, wait.
Actually, you can't say hi, Valley. Valleys are low.
Low Valley?
Yeah, you just do it like that.
Hey,
like
Chesty. Hey, Ben. Hey, Raymond.
Oh, you're talking to that Chesty.
Hi, Mick. Hey, Dino. Hey, Leamington.
I thought when
Hi,
people said hi,
Raymond.
Chesty, they thought you were coming in.
Wow, you have no lights.
Well, not on your channel, though.
Yeah, I'll redo
oh, honey,
it.
this has been, I barely broke 30 viewers.
Oh.
It's been a quiet steam. And my 2 UK trains both are
Okay,
acting up.
35's a lot nicer than that. Yeah, you're awake. That's great. So, and hey, Eric. Get an ant farm and raise ants. That'll give them subs. Huh. How exciting are ants?
We can all do something stupid and maybe increase subs, but the nice thing is, and again, because to me, this is how many subs I have. I have 30 people, well, actually I have 27 people in here talking right now. At least that's what my thing says.
It's okay.
Joyce says 24 watching, so I have 24 watching. That's how many subs I have.
Oh,
The people who come and hang with me.
You are all the best, for sure.
The 30 to 40 people that come to my live stream every Friday, those are my subs.
Those are his people. Yeah. Those are his people.
The other 1,650 or whatever, it's nice, but I don't know them. Hey, there's Anthony from Chilverton Junction.
Well, it says I gave you 38. So it's still not coming up right.
Well, a couple of people just jumped in, and yours will catch
Yeah.
up slowly. Because, mine just jumped up from
Yeah.
34 to 38.
I gave you 38
That's
on
Tony
there, I
at
think.
Chilverton Junction. Another Tony. We're starting
So,
to develop
hey,
Anthony's.
we're
There's
getting a
time-
lot of Tonys and Anthonys.
There's a lot of
Cool.
time when the...
Yeah, I agree, Artie. It doesn't really matter. You could have a ton of subs, but the ones that are always here and with you are always your best ones. And the ones that you love the most.
And if I really wanted to be pissy, dicky, douchey,
You don't want to be
I'd
diggy,
say-
diggy, douchey.
my real subs, the only people I truly consider subs are the people that watch our, that like and comment on Matt Clark and the parody
Oh,
videos.
he's pulling up the Matt Clark call. Oh, you're all waiting for Joyce. I just made some cookies. We always try to make them a little ahead of time. We freeze some so we don't have quite so much on Christmas Eve when we have our party with Lindy. And we bring the cookies.
But there are a lot of channels like that, Monsville, where they're just showing what they built. I mean,
Right.
that's all Robert's train set is, and he's got 2,000 to 3,000
He's got a lot of
subscribers.
subscribers, yeah. So, Anthony, I think he gets you by his personality.
Or I lose a lot
And
for my
you're right,
personality.
rant videos do attract people. They really like seeing people get upset and go antsy. Yeah, Eric, you're a real sub.
Yeah, my biggest gain,
You are a faithful
my
follower.
biggest
We
gain
follow
was a
you
negative
too.
gain.
Oh, Kai says hi.
Kaya!
Hey,
Hey, Lindy and
love
Steven,
you. I
Chris,
should have that way.
Lindy Stevens and Chris Stevens, my son-in-law and daughter.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Oh,
let's.
Chris is
We
still
gotta go
working.
big. Everybody has to
Chris is
plug
still
your ears for a
working.
minute. Everybody's got to plug your ears. Where is it? There
We
we
have
go.
to do the family greeting.
Kaya! Hey, Opa loves you.
I love you.
Hey, Kaya!
You're such a good boy. We love you. And your party's tomorrow.
Your birthday party's tomorrow, Kyan. It's
Woohoo,
early.
I gotta wrap
His
it.
birthday's actually the 20th.
Yeah, but we're
So we're
yeah.
celebrating it tomorrow because my son is coming up.
Yeah,
and we're having a
that's
family
when his
party
son can come in. So,
Kyan! Did you see Opa's running the locomotives you picked out?
well, Randall, I imagine we all can with the right prompting. I guess stuff I get excited
where's
about.
it?
Yeah, you do always. Hi, Monsville. So, but yeah, you have, it's the people you get to know, and we all reciprocate.
I mean,
when
some
you guys put
basics
videos
are-
up, we watch them.
Some basics are regular videos, like consistently. Like every Monday I put out a video, or every 2 weeks I put out a video. That will help.
I'm still tired from yesterday.
Socializing, going to people's channels and commenting and
Right,
commenting.
and talking, yeah.
And then going to the live streams and talking to people.
Where's your invitation to Kyan's party? Oh,
It got lost in the mail.
yeah, I lost in the mail indeed. Yeah, probably, Randall.
What would be an instant million views?
A good
Yeah,
rant,
yeah.
throwing things across the room
But see,
and
that's
stuff.
the thing.
But those, they don't feel real, I guess. You wouldn't have your real friends coming if you were.
The biggest
Ranting
positive
big.
growth spurt I had was when I was at about 970 subscribers and stagnated. I was at 970, 980, and I talked about, it'd be nice to get to 1,000. 2 years ago, Alan Wiles, out of the blue,
He did.
gave me a shout out. Most of you know that story. Alan Wiles gave me a
Yeah.
shout out and told his subscribers on one of his
Yeah,
videos,
it'll
please
be
go
free
subscribe 1,000 to 1,100. I
Right.
gained about 130 viewers subscribers in about a month.
Oh, why are we blinking? Oh, back to top chat.
So that was the big. In just over a week, I went well over 1,000 and close to 1,100. So I got about 100 to 130 subscribers
Hi, Shedmouth.
in that 1 week. Hey, Martin, how are
yeah,
ya?
I was buffering. I was blinking too here. You were buffering for a minute.
Yeah, we're having some bizarre issues. Something, I think this newest upgrade of OBS has a glitch in it.
It might. I will tell you, though, it worked, which is pretty close to here.
Martin and Evie, if you're somewhere, hi Evie.
We lost
and the rest of the family.
Right. We lost the internet, which is kind of, we do everything on the internet now. It was really kind of a bummer. Now, I couldn't print like I wanted to because that's connected to the internet. I was on my planning time.
And, so
that wasn't cool. It was about up for 10 minutes.
Anyhow, but the biggest 1 week gain I had was about 300 subs.
Okay, already.
After I posted a rant about a channel that insulted some other channels. Right. And I didn't even name the channel.
He didn't name it, and he didn't monetize that one.
And I didn't monetize that video either. I made sure it was demonetized.
Right.
But I threw a rant about, and I loved the channel. I loved listening to the person. I loved the channel. Loved watching it. Loved the video. But this person had an occasion of naming other channels and being kind of rude about those channels. And they don't know what they're doing. They're just being... And it's like, dude, don't do that. Well, he went beyond just criticizing how people ran their channel, and he started insulting how they looked, how they dressed, their weight, their appearance.
Right.
And it was...
like, oh, who the heck do you think you are?
That was like... And so...
I think he found a couple of you that way.
Another channel, a friend of mine, posted a rant video because they were a few hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
And at first I unsubscribed and was going to ignore it, and then I saw my friend posted his angry video, and I said, well, I'm going to post it to support him.
Right.
And just say, I mean, sometimes you got to step up and tell somebody, shut up.
Yeah, he was being a real jerk. I guess he still is at times, but we don't.
Oh, he rips on me every now and then.
Right.
If you ever go to that channel and they refer to that American.
Right, that's who it is. But
I'm that American.
Yeah, so Raymond knows what we're talking about.
I still get hate mail.
A lot of you do. But it is just, there was no call for it. And you have to call that out because, that's not right. And that's not what YouTube should be about.
And if the person screams freedom of speech, I'm also exercising my freedom of speech.
That's right.
And I say it's just polite.
Yeah.
If you don't like another channel, don't watch it. Every channel's different. Every channel's unique. There are definite classes where you could say some channels like this, some channels like that.
It is super easy to unsubscribe, to not watch a video. If you don't like something about them, then go away from them. You have no reason to say anything mean about anybody on this social media anymore.
I just unsubscribed to a channel I used to like because I was watching their live stream last
Randall,
week,
that could get
and
me
they
upset.
went on a political rant. Now, I didn't post a video calling them out or ripping on them, but I unsubscribed and said, that's it. You've talked politics before. I don't want to talk politics, and you're totally wrong with what you're saying about your politics. But there's no point posting it. He exercised his free speech and his views, and I exercised my choice. But sometimes you can't just back away. You have to stand up to the person and say, that crossed the line.
Yeah.
But I gained 300 subscribers in a week and a half from that, including some of
you that are here now.
Some of you that are here now. Probably that's when you first stumbled across me.
Oh no, you stayed, so that's something. So you can like Anthony even when he's not upset about it, but it's just not worth it. There's just not people to be hanging around. I say the political stuff, and they just leave.
I don't want to mention names or even hints or even initials. No, it's people either know the channel or they don't. And again, you're free to like that channel. I love the channel. That's what people don't understand. I love the channel. Which is why it hurt me, because he had already kind of taken shots at, you know, Alan Wiles will tell you that that person took shots at Alan Wiles.
Oh.
And why would anybody take a shot at Alan Wiles?
Right.
He's the nicest guy, one of the nicest guys in the train community on YouTube. Alan Wiles puts a smile on your face.
Yep.
You watch his videos each day. He gets the giggle fits.
Yeah.
And Joyce will tell you, if I don't want to laugh, I don't laugh. But Alan Wiles can get me to laugh. Alan's just a beautiful person. And I was saying that before I got to meet him.
Right, I agree, Chesty. And it is just, you know, keep it.
A model train channel.
Well, I mean, we talk about all kinds of things, but you stay away from those triggers, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
unless that's who you want on your channel, and you try to chase away the people that don't think like you.
Well, I'm the first. I'm not the only. At Monsville, as you get people here to see you and know you,
people will find you, Monsville. You've got a great
find
channel.
you. I know you've been out there for a while.
Yeah, and they say just go into these guys' chats.
What you're doing will catch on. These people will catch on to you. And for those of you who are new here, Monsville runs UK. They are Australian, and they run UK trains. But for personal matters, they don't talk on their videos. They make that choice. My friend Kieran does not talk on his videos because of stuff that happened when he spoke on his videos. He got made fun of with his accent. He got made fun of stuff. And so but beautiful videos, great history. The video they put up today, Monsville put up a link to that video. It was awesome. They were showing their Black Fives and related. And not only did they show the trains, they gave a history of the locomotives, which I thought was cool. It was really cool. 3 beautiful locomotives, including at least 1 Black 5, and 2 other GWR, I think it was, locomotives, because my memories are sick. So, people will discover you.
Yeah, and again, just put yourself out there, you know. It's good you're on Anthony's. And
I don't care whether you
Artie does at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
But see, even my channel isn't just, I try to keep everything train related.
Sunday morning, I guess.
I try to keep everything on this channel train related, but I do my parody songs, which very few people watch, but I don't care. I think they're funny. I enjoy doing them.
Oh, Artie, you take that, I'm sure, always in fun. You are loved and you know it.
I don't make fun of anybody until they're a friend of mine who gives it as well as takes it.
That's right. Yeah, it's got to work both ways.
You know, I don't start out making fun of anybody. I'm kind and loving to everybody. Welcoming, hey, come on in. Hey, great day. You got a great channel.
Okay. Yeah, you know we love you.
It's only when you started joking and doing stuff, and then I joked, and then we joked about the same things, and then we joked about each other where we knew we could do it.
Yeah.
I will never joke or say a negative thing about anybody.
No, we're not. We don't put down anybody's accent because it's different. I mean, that's nothing.
No, but,
now it's in your
but
head.
Again, it's just some people, for various reasons, choose not to put themselves in front of the camera. Now, again, that can help, you know, when people can associate a person with it, but people have reason with it, and there we just, dude.
Well, at least we're not losing it.
And there's Clive. Speaking of which, a great video today, Clive. But oh my goodness, Clive. Well, not today. Man, Clive had something he ordered. And it was like that plastruck fencing and stuff like that. You know, the plastic girder.
Yeah.
And they bent it around. I'm sure they tried to bend it into a curve, and then they shipped it. But it's going to get stuff sat on, so it all came bent and warped.
Oh, that's upsetting.
What freaking idiot packs like that?
Oh, Artie, everybody's a little self-conscious about their voice. Try singing.
Yeah. For all
I didn't think I sounded like that. I
voice,
thought it sounded better than
for
that.
all of you self-conscious about your voice, Go listen to me try to do Freddie Mercury in my first parody video.
Exactly, Ray.
And understand, I know I sound like that before I did it.
Yeah.
But for the sake of comedy, I put it out there anyhow.
Yeah. Well,
There are very few people who got a worse singing voice than me.
Now you have so many voices you share.
Oh, and you got to
Nobody
see.
knows what your voice
I almost
are.
gave something away.
Ooh. Oh,
Some new
wait.
lyrics for
Okay.
a certain singer.
Oh, another one? Oh, yeah.
No, not for you.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I'm with you. Yeah, okay. You got a jury summons, by the way.
Oh,
You haven't been in a while, so. At least you're retired.
hang 'em! It's a parking offense. Hang 'em! Dismiss
parking
dismiss prospective juror number 10, please. That's how I get out of jury duty. I just walk in, hang 'em! Hang 'em!
Well, yeah, Leamington, it just seems like it's blipping. So it's not real bad because it's coming back. But
And it's not in the computer.
a bit annoying. Yeah, his signal
it's
says
OBS to
his
it's
signal
OBS to
says
YouTube.
he's strong. Is it? Where is it?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Everything down here, CPU is running fine.
Right.
Everything's
So
good
yeah,
here.
everything's good on this end.
We have yet to drop a frame.
Okay.
So the broadcast in and of itself
So
is fine.
refreshing
It's
helps.
an OBS.
Okay. Either that or a YouTube thing. People already said it might be a YouTube thing because he's had that problem.
Yeah, but I have not had this problem like this because I keep getting OBS disconnecting. So
Okay.
it's something between OBS and YouTube. And then
41,
Ben from
that's
Eagle Creek said
awesome.
he had the same problem. But I can only point out that middle of last week, OBS did a major
Yeah.
upgrade. They went from version 29.5 to version 30.1.
Yeah,
I had this problem last week, and I'm having it this
I
week.
had the closed caption on the last video I did, and yeah, way too many ums in there. I didn't think I was an ummer, but clearly I am.
I've gotten bad. When I was a public speaker, I was very careful, but now I notice when I do videos, I do a lot.
Yeah, there are pause.
Because I'm free thinking and not
Yeah.
doing prepared thinking.
Right, yeah, that is what it is.
Even the videos I do, they're unscripted.
Yeah, exactly, Raymond.
My first
You
impression
don't like
videos
them,
are
you don't
filmed
watch
live.
them. All done.
But, my thing is, I don't care what you do on your channel. I don't care what your layout looks
That's
out.
cool.
I don't care if you run on a table, a coffee table, a carpet. I don't
What
care.
does Jennifer Dodge is a producer for Paw Patrol?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, but good for her.
She's related somehow.
Probably the California Dodges.
Well, just because she works on the show doesn't mean that she is from California.
Well, very
Although
true.
They could be working.
Yeah,
but
they could be. You're right.
She's an executive producer, but she's
so good for her.
probably somehow, since she's in the entertainment industry, somehow she's probably related to Geraldine Dodge, who was part of the car company. She was a daughter of.
The class Albert Hall. Good.
She was the
Awesome.
daughter of the Geraldine R. Dodge Foundation, which promotes art on PBS.
That's cool.
But she was from she was the sister of John and Horace, or she is the daughter of John the First
Okay.
of the car company fame, and was the sister
Yeah.
of John Jr., who sold the company to Chrysler Plymouth.
I'm just hoping teaching I don't know them that much, you know? I don't know. Kids don't listen anyway. I gave them a test on something we've been doing for a long time, and half of them, it's like they have no idea what we were learning about.
Artie, I will consider packing up the Railjet for transportation when they reinstate Pluto as a planet. I will pack it
Yeah, he's
and
that
hand
age.
it over to you when they declare the 20 moons, the newest 20 moons
Exactly,
of Uranus
Raymond.
planets.
Yeah, whatever you want.
So you're in with a chance.
You have dragons and
But like
desserts and whatever. Don't matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't care.
You do what you want.
I don't know what gets me to.
Hi, Sparky.
Hey, Sparky. I don't know what gets me. A lot of channels, it's about the joy of the hobby, and they don't come across as judgmental. I mean, I probably can come across judgmental, but the thing is, I'm judgmental against the judgmental.
When they capture a Martian on Pluto. Hey, Andy, you're making it that much harder.
The Earth?
Yeah, you'll get
Well,
NASA
I'm going
call.
to blow it up. It blocks my view of Venus. Stop him. He's stolen my Imodium Q31 Earth Exploder.
I have a nice idea.
What?
I have a nice idea. I'll tell you later.
Oh, I didn't hear what you're going to tell me later.
I said, I'll tell you later. I have a nice idea.
You just said you got an issue or something?
No, I said I have a nice idea.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, I just... everybody's got their thing, and
Yeah.
I have a very eclectic choice of
Right.
model train
And let's
channels I
face
follow.
it, you need to have your thing. Everybody's channel can't be the same. Nobody would watch it. You got to, have your way to stand out.
And there are things that draw people. Like, there are people that are very serious channels, and they only follow serious channels. So they're not going to be here, because I'm not a serious channel. And I have
Right.
lost subs, and I've had people write me letters
sure.
saying, you don't do anything. You haven't worked on your layout. You don't do anything. There's just nothing to follow. And I'm like, okay, bye. It was nice knowing you. No hard feelings.
Exactly.
The fact is, my channel continues to grow somehow. I blame it on her.
I can't be bringing you
It's your Daisy. It's your Daisy voice
My Daisy voice.
and your 38s. I mean your guns.
You haven't hit the like button, people. Please hit the like button. I like what I'm seeing, though. Hope he doesn't ship it to Uranus. Or Uranus.
Careful. Good night, folks.
Can only do Jupiter at the moment. Blame it on the boogie.
It's all of. I just, like I said, I'm not in competition with anybody.
Wow,
I'm not
dude.
trying to beat anybody or anything.
Well, no, there's not. Because as Anthony said, his expectation was never real high. It's just put it out there and see who comes, and we're thrilled with the people who come. You guys are awesome.
And again, as I developed the
girls.
channel, I went away from the stuff that would have brought me more subscribers.
Right.
I stopped doing some of the serious stuff, the Märklin stuff.
He finished what he knew.
But it became the channel became what I needed. It instead of becoming what
Yeah,
I wanted.
It's a free fish. Huh? Hey, you're not getting that here.
I always was doing comedy, but then I decided the talking to people, live streams, and my comedy bits.
Oh, sure. That's, he just does his routines he did with the students for years. You guys have replaced the students.
Yeah. I talk about how
Well, that's
I was a failed stand-up comedian. I just found a different audience. I spent 36 years being called a teacher when what I was a stand-up comedian who just also happened to be teaching while I was being a comedian. But I always had to limit my comedy. When I do Matt Clark...
Well, that's true. Being in a classroom, you have to keep it...
No, that's how I got in trouble a few times with administration.
You should keep it...
Mr. Dodge, did you say this in your
little
classroom?
less than PG.
Yes, I did. You realize that's highly inappropriate for a teacher to say in class.
Only
Define
fans.
highly inappropriate. It was lesson-based. Just because I dropped an F-bomb, like the kids haven't heard that a million times. My God, I'm teaching teenagers. They go out in the hall.
Oh, sure they do.
The kids who are complaining about me saying the F word in my class are the ones saying it in the hallway. I can't believe that fucker said fuck in class.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I hate that fucker.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my God, you just said it 3 times. You're going to get... No, It may offend some of you that I said it, but...
Yeah, you're upside down, Artie. That's been on a test, you know.
Oh, God, the KY Express. Okay, we'll stop right there. You meant Kentucky, right? KY, abbreviation
Right.
for... Boy, of all the states to get a crappy...
Oh, your virgin ears. I don't know, Sparky. I don't get that vibe from you.
Well, his ears may be virgin. They may be.
I agree, Raven. World would be a lot happier. You feeling mean? Thoughts?
It just
keep
depends
inside.
on how kinky you get in the bedroom.
Behave, honey.
But as
Sure,
an
Kentucky,
electrician,
right.
there's no way you haven't sworn.
That's
You show
true.
me an electrician that never swears, and I'm going to show you a crappy electrician.
Sauce is sauce?
That's one of the monsters from the Sea of Monsters in Yellow Submarine.
Is it really?
Yes. He's the one that sucks up the whole scene in the one bit where he's...
I'm just going to put it out there. You have too many toys.
You're one of them. Where do I start?
That's the blue meanie, isn't it?
Max, wherever shall we go? Argentina.
Yeah, that's how students won Valley. You start off with an idea, go off on a tangent, then another way, come back to roughly where we started.
Hey,
That's right.
Michael's here.
Hey, Michael.
I don't even start with an idea. I'm off on the tangent before I start my live stream.
That's true.
I do not.
I've never been to your house.
I have maybe one idea, sometimes
Oh,
a
well,
couple.
we could, Eric. You're not that far away.
No, we talked about like we should go down to Columbus and
Yeah.
spend a weekend, to visit AJ and that.
Right,
But we can
we'll pop in on Eric.
we could pop in on Eric or meet him at either his comic shop he works at, or meet over at Robbie's Hobbies.
Whatever, wherever he's
Because
comfortable.
we've been to Robbie's Hobbies.
We have been to Robbie's Hobbies. We were a little disappointed with their extensive Märklin collection.
Yeah, Robbie's Hobbies claimed to have an extensive Märklin collection. Extensive was like 10 boxes.
I used to say, I think we have a much more extensive collection than they do. Obviously not for sale. Okay, I think remember you getting these.
Oh, God, I've had these for years.
Well, I assume that.
I forget if it was for the 30th anniversary. They came out in 1999 when they redid it. The glove. Lovely glove.
Love, love,
And the best one of all,
love, love,
the four-headed bulldog from Hey Bulldog. Dun, 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 dun. One of my favorite Beatles songs. That is such a good rocker.
Oh.
Jeremy Hillary Boob.
Hillary Boob.
It's another boob.
Yep.
So now you've got
Another
3 of them.
boob. Okay,
playing with all
sorry
my-
guys. Yeah, we're playing with the dolls.
My grandson Kyan got out all my Yellow Submarine action figure toys.
Drive over the 2 big bridges. Oh my golly, you know how Anthony feels about bridges, I think.
Well, they may not.
We definitely go over the one. Where is that?
Well, we have to come over 2 big bridges. We could go over the Ambassador Bridge.
You consider that a big bridge?
I'm
It is
sure
a
he's
big
thinking that
bridge.
one. I mean,
Yeah, because you go over that. I mean, because we've been to Niagara Falls in Canada many times, so we've
well,
driven
we're talking
that
about
way.
going to Niagara Falls in the spring.
Yeah,
we're talking about going
That
there.
would be a fun trip.
And
to
maybe
do.
going up to Toronto and seeing the mini Canada train thing up
and
there.
then we meet Sparky.
And we can meet Sparky.
Yeah.
But, because what's his name?
You do know. That's good. I don't think he hit it very well.
I can't think of his name now. I lost his name. The guy that got back into Märklin because of me. He lives in Toronto. He lives right off the lake.
Oh, Tommy.
Tommy, right.
Yeah, Tommy Trains.
Tommy's MOBA
Yeah.
Zimmer. Tommy's Trains.
Yeah, that's
Well,
why
no,
there's
Tommy's
no bridges.
Trains is now Tommy Station.
Oh, he was going to put one in.
You got those on your playlist.
That's cool, Randall.
Come Together's not bad, and Day Tripper's good.
As a
Come
youngin',
Together's not
that's
my
good.
favorite Beatles. It's okay, but it's not my favorite Beatles song. It's probably not even my top 100. But Hey Bulldog's up there. Hey Bulldog was... I remember playing Hey Bulldog for people and going, that's a Beatles song? I didn't know Beatles. You know, because they only know Beatles as I Want to Hold Your Hand or She Loves You. It's like, come on, guys. Toronto, not Toronto. Yeah, Tommy Canada. All right. Tommy Canada is still subscribed to my channel, but he hasn't commented on a video of mine in a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I could go back and show you when I was doing my Märklin videos where he was
Sparky,
really...
that hurts.
Yeah, notice the people who say, who are the Beatles, always manage to spell the name right.
Yeah, so they know.
As though, you know, if you were thinking Beatles, you would spell it like the bug. Yeah, Tommy Canada. He started commenting on my early Märklin videos and was a huge fan of my channel. And he finally said, and you can go back to those videos and see his comments where he says, "Oh my God, I think I want to get back into Märklin."
Right.
I used to have Märklin as a kid when I was in Germany, and life happened.
He started a rerun of his channel? Okay. So Shedmith asked about, what do you think of Now and Then?
Well, he just released a new video today, in fact. I haven't watched it yet. In fact, I didn't watch the one he released 2 weeks ago. But I think he's been rebuilding his layout, but he started putting scenery. Anyhow, what do I think of the new song? It's nice. Is it a great song? No. It's a very emotional song, and Joyce will tell you, we both teared up.
And we were watching the making of it, and they showed how scratchy
the original version
was, and then they talked about how they pulled John's voice out.
The new technology allowed them to get John's voice and bring it back.
John was in the room, and the two of us
with our system, it was like John Lennon was sitting in our living room
we're
hearing
like,
his voice.
oh, they fixed it. He's here.
And of course, that's why they didn't release it. It was supposed to be part of Anthology, released in 1995. It's supposed to be there were going to be 3 songs, one for each of the anthologies. Anthology 1, Anthology 2, Anthology 3. But George vetoed it because it was just, John's voice sounded too crappy and they just couldn't do it. Well, now the technology's there, but George is dead. But George had already done guitar riffs for it. He had written guitar parts.
They were working on it.
So,
yeah.
So it's sad because it is the last thing. It's a pretty song. It's not by far the best John Lennon song. Because in the end, it really is a John Lennon song that the Beatles other
played
3
on.
Beatles played on. But then again, by the time when the Beatles broke up, that's pretty much what they were anyhow. Each guy had his song, and then the other 3 guys
and the rest of them played with it.
just played on it.
That's right.
But it's a pretty song.
Their soul.
And the song's meaning is bigger than the quality of the song. Quality-wise, it's okay.
Interesting.
It's not a great... It's a pretty enough song, but it's not great. But the fact that it is truly the last Beatles song.
It's the last one.
And the fact that it went to number 1 50 years after the band broke up. 53 years. There are very few bands that 53 years after they're done recording.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
You'll be talking about.
I think if it's on YouTube, so where does he?
Yeah, if you go to the Beatles YouTube channel, they have the making of video.
Yeah.
So if you heard the song, just the Beatles, just Google the Beatles, and they have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And yeah, the song went to number 1, but the making of was.
It just was really cool. I mean, the technology we have now is amazing.
And the video's touching because I am a huge Beatles fan. And I was 16 when John Lennon was murdered.
Yeah, they were extremely influential.
And my friends and I drove to New York City the weekend he was murdered. And we went to the big vigil.
Eric.
We went to the vigil in at Strawberry, the park outside the the Dakota, where the building where he lived. We went to that vigil. And we cried on the way there, and we cried on the way back. And if I talk about, I had a really bad day in life when George Harrison died, and I came home and found out George Harrison died, and I literally collapsed and just was in tears.
Yeah.
Because it was just the outlet.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a huge Beatles fan. But the Beatles were the music of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the greatest rock and roll band in the world. I don't care what the Stones call themselves. Well, the Beatles were a pop band. The Beatles were rock and roll. Back then it was all rock and roll. It was pop, rock and roll. You can like other bands. That's fine. You don't have to like the Beatles. Nobody has to. But there's a reason we still talk about the Beatles. There's a reason. You know, even if you don't like them, they were the first to do things. They were the first one to put their lyrics on an album and say the words we're saying are important. They were the first ones to say the album should be a piece of art.
That was shocking.
The album cover should be a piece of art. And they changed music. Even bands that you wouldn't think. I mean, you can trace heavy metal back to certain things in Beatles where other bands said, oh, I like what the Beatles did there, but it should be, you know, people always say, oh, this band started heavy metal, or this band started hard rock. But you can always find a Beatles song that did it first.
What is she doing?
But, you know, and I like the other bands. I mean, there are Beatles songs I don't like. There are things where I think the Beatles were, meh, that's not great. And I like the Stones, but I think the Stones have a lot more garbage than they have quality songs. But I love a lot of the Stones songs. One of my favorite songs is Street Fighting Man from the Stones. I love that song. And Lonnie Donegan. Where would the Beatles have been without Lonnie Donegan? Because the Beatles started as a skiffle group, the Quarrymen. But where would Lonnie Donegan have been without the old black rhythm and blues? You know, there's always somebody that caused somebody. You know, and there's always somebody that's the progenitor that set it all up, that kicked the ball off. Paint It Black is a great song.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Sympathy for the Devil. Mm-hmm. I like Gimme Shelter. When I was young, I didn't like Gimme Shelter, but it grew on me, and now I love Gimme Shelter. In fact, I have an unreleased train parody version of Gimme Shelter because I don't think the lyrics are that great. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of, and also my singing on it sucks.
Well, Sparky, Anthony doesn't stop talking frequently.
Anthony has two speeds. He never stops
That's
or he never
true.
starts.
Ah, there's that. He's quiet. Yeah, people throw songs out of them singing them, so.
But that's the problem. You get me on topics, and yeah, I just go.
Yeah, and he goes. But I mean, we both love music, so we know all the stuff you guys are talking about.
Well, go ahead, start singing. Could you sing right now with your...
I'm still very, very congested. You can tell my nose
The two
is
of us. I can pull up the lyrics to our version.
Two of us going
Away, spending someone's hard-earned pay. You and me lifting latches, burning matches on our way back home. One of her favorite Beatles songs. One of her favorite Beatles songs, and she loves.
I do love it. Yeah, it is a problem. People put stuff in your head.
Remember your first transit back in '62?
It's just that they were.
It went in circles and it meant the world to you.
People just throw them out. Then you get an earworm with it.
Then you gotta
I
scratch
made those
it.
cookies in record speed.
Did you?
I didn't get frozen by halfway, to be honest. So they're up there.
Anthony knows the time. Oh no, I know the period quite well.
Yeah, we do.
Like I said, the problem is I have to wind myself up to talk. That's the thing.
That is true.
You get me off camera, and if you just see me, I'm sitting there very quiet. I sit in the corner and don't talk until something comes up, and then I
Some gets them going, and then you can't get a word in edgewise.
Yep.
And you say, tomorrow is our 40th anniversary of our first date.
Yeah, genre card. There's 5 here. Pick one. Might I suggest this one? It's the biggest of the 5.
Ah, did you, Andy? I think it's crazy vinyl has come back.
Yeah, it's come
You know,
back huge.
I remember it was such a big deal. We had 8-track, and then you went cassette. That was great. And then CDs blew everybody away, and now we're back to vinyl.
See, if you were from the UK, and said that genre card, I'd offer you 2 fingers. But since you're from Denmark, I'm just offering you a choice of 1.
Oh, Rusty behavior.
No, actually, Rust. That's the funny thing. When I do Rusty, I actually can pull it off.
I think we all agree he sounds better as Rusty.
I sound better as Rusty.
So you just
Oh,
sing like,
little town of El Paso,
yeah.
how still we
Yeah, isn't that
see
something?
thee lie.
40 years. That's a long
Oh,
time.
God, 40 years.
That is a long time.
You're right, I'm out.
Yeah. Oh, man. What happened?
Oh, my God, yeah.
So, I don't know. It kind of feels like a big deal.
40 years ago tonight was a Thursday night,
Yeah.
and I had exams and had to work the next day. And I'm like, I really don't want to go on
You'll
this
be
date. I
bored
should have
yourself.
canceled out. I do not want to go on this date.
We've been a thing longer than you've been alive, Randall.
I was thinking, why didn't I cancel out of this date? Why didn't I cancel out? And then nobody ever told me, but Joyce was the substitute.
There I was. My black dress that I borrowed from my sister.
Yep, you had that black dress on.
I had to call him. I said, Julie, I need a dress. Do you have a black dress I can wear? And she did.
You know, we should do like a lot of people do and try to recreate that picture. You know, people do that 40 years later. I do the deer in the headlight syndrome too.
Oh, Anthony was worse than I was.
Hang on, let's pull
You
that
can
picture
find
up.
it. Oh, his bug eyes or something else.
It's got to be somewhere, but
That
I
was
should be able
funny.
to find it. Add image. I've shown this image all the time. Blow your nose, live on camera. Joyce blows her nose.
Joyce blows her nose. Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
a
here we
cassette
go.
player. Yeah.
There we go. That was Joyce and me 40 years ago. Friday.
I was a senior in high school. I say it was my sister's dress. It fit pretty well.
Joyce and me 40 years ago tonight in terms of weeknight. It was a Friday night.
Anthony had hair.
Yeah, and then I met you.
Oh,
Oh.
Sean.
See, Sean is playing a game here. He likes to try to get you against me.
I know.
He insults me and compliments
I
you.
know.
And he doesn't understand all that's going to do is get you to thump him in the nose the next time we meet. We're going to go to Denmark just to thump him in the nose. But yeah, that was Joyce and me. I'm sorry, it's blocking your view of trains. But if you look, you can see 2 people that are like, what the hell did I just get into?
Right.
And in fact, my most beautiful, loving wife.
Yes.
Why don't you look at the camera and tell them how you described me in your diary after meeting me that first time? This is what Joyce thought of me
Well, you know, he had that scraggly beard, you know, which I was in high school.
Just don't set it up.
Thought
How
he
did you
looked like
describe
an
me?
axe murderer. That was my
She
description.
wrote in her
of him.
diary, nice guy, but looks like an axe murderer.
Yeah, it was 1983, Raymond.
Hey, there's Tom, Märklin's
1983.
train.
Holy moly. Hey, Tom. So, yeah. Yeah, we've come a long way.
Well, the thing is, Joseph Agliato, Stuart Sutcliffe had already quit the Beatles before he died. Paul had already taken over the bass playing. But who knows how great an artist he would have become, because he wasn't a musician. He was John Lennon's friend. John wanted him in the group, and they needed a bass player because nobody wanted to play the bass, and they talked Stu into using some money he won from an art contest to buy a bass guitar and become their bass player, but he wasn't good. That's why if you ever watch Beatles, when Stuart Sutcliffe was playing the bass, he's always got his back to the audience or the stage because he couldn't play and he didn't want people to see he was messing up all the time. I think they made a movie of that. I married an axe murderer. Hey,
I didn't say he was an expert.
she just said I look like. They've never found the
just
body, so
said
you can't prove diddly squat.
He looked like one. Unsolved crimes around Toledo. Yeah, that was about it, Valley.
But yeah, we. But
possible
yeah, that
the
was us
rest of the
40
guy in
years
the
ago,
brown
a
suit.
Friday night. I
Yeah.
literally had got that picture. I had just gotten into town 2 hours,
Yeah,
3 hours,
I know. Not
3
very
hours,
much.
and my hair was 2 inches longer, and my beard was an inch longer, and I had to trim it all while I'm trying to find a suit because it was a formal dance. It was her school's Christmas dance.
Yeah, it was a Christmas
And
dance.
she was in her last year of high school. I was at university. And I came into town, and we had never met. Well, technically, we had met.
Well, sort of.
We sort of met.
Oh, yeah.
We were at the same party at the same time,
We
and
didn't get glasses until we were in our 40s. When your
But yeah, we're
eyesight
both-
goes to shit.
we're both in a, what the hell are we doing here? And isn't this nice?
your advent calendar diorama on all your saws.
I didn't set up a chainsaw murder. I set up a chainsaw accidental death where they cut the tree and the
That's
tree
right.
fell on the guy.
That's right.
If it is a
It's
murder,
an
that might
accidental
require
death.
other investigation.
Right. Yeah, the window replacement's good.
No, I had an exam in the morning because it was the end of semester. No, it wasn't even end of semester. It was midway through the term. And we had exams before break.
You were midway through the term in December?
Yeah, it didn't end until after we came back in January.
Huh.
Because remember that was Mrs. Hrushka and how the hell did you get a 97% on my exam
Yeah. Right.
when I was very hungover?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it was I had a major test before I had to go. Then I had to work at the bowling alleys on campus because I had a job there. And I got off work at 4:30. They let me out. I had to work till 5, but they let me out at 4:30. I got to Toledo at 6. I was being picked up at 7. I ran in the house with my dad cussing and yelling at me about how come I don't stay around the family, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to find, my mom had boxed up all my school clothes because this was my graduation suit, my high school graduation suit, which my mom had boxed it all up. So I'm running through boxes trying to find a matching tie, shirt, pants, and jacket. Mom, where'd you put all my stuff? Oh, it's all in boxes. We got rid of it all.
You're getting a non-trained Christmas present for your wife? What the heck? That seems unlikely.
It depends on what the present is. I'm expecting a non-trained birthday present from you.
Oh, Anthony.
But yeah, that was our divorce.
40. Why?
And the funny thing is,
for
the picture 6 months
non-Märklin,
later,
yeah.
when we'd been dating for 6 months, much more relaxed.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. We did my senior prom, and yes, we were very comfortable with each other.
Yeah, I even shaved for her. I'll pull that picture up real fast. Add.
Anthony's in a tux for my rose-colored dress.
And this is the picture of us exactly
it's
6 months
6
later. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. That's
Yeah.
why I'm showing exact. This was 6 months later. Totally different couple. I'm about 20, 30 pounds
Right.
lighter.
Yeah,
I had lost a ton of weight. I shaved off the beard
yeah.
and was just going with a mustache. And
It was the 80s. That's why there's big sleeves.
yeah, this was the early 80s. So, yeah, this was
Sonny and Cher. Oh. All right, Eric, take care of yourself.
all right, Eric, take care, my friend.
Your first year of high school. Well, that's only 4 years different.
I'll have to turn that off here.
Do you have
But
any-
yeah, that was yeah, it
Nothing's
won't
on?
work on any of these. This is one of the glitches with the new upgrade. I've got 3 things that I can't turn the lights on and off. I have to do it with the actual main station. But
Yeah, I never did the real big hair, although my hair is curled there. I use the
Joyce always had beautiful hair.
hot curling iron my friends did. I ran from a track meet to get my hair done for my friends.
She went to
So,
slightly shorter hair in her 40s, but I told her
Yeah.
there's a short you cannot go past. But yeah, that was Joyce and me 6 months after the previous picture, and it was also your birthday. No, it wasn't your birthday yet.
Hi, Ellen.
Is that our
Yeah.
Lord is here?
Lord Allen is here.
So yeah,
yes.
that was Joyce and me 6 months after.
Oh, we play the Browns. Oh, we don't even
We
know
play
who's
the Bears.
quarterbacking. The Bears. That's what I meant. We don't even know who's quarterback.
Yeah, we do. Flacco. Flacco's been named the starting quarterback for the rest of the year.
All right.
The problem is we lost another defensive player out for the year. Brad Delpit, our starting safety who's had such a great year, is out for the year. But yeah, that was 6 months later. But yeah, it was 40 years. See, tonight is the Friday, so it was 40 years of Fridays ago that Joyce and I met.
The actual day is the 16th.
But tomorrow is the actual anniversary, which we're celebrating Cayenne's birthday tomorrow.
Great.
All right. Well, anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, Joyce has some running she wants us to do.
Yeah, we gotta finish
and
up the
we're already
Christmas
there.
shopping.
Yeah, we gotta finish off our Christmas
Are you
shopping.
going on Nexie, or are you just gonna do it this way?
Am I what?
Going on Nexie solo.
Oh yeah.
That's your usual.
Yes, dear.
Oh.
The producer has spoken. So, but Alan, it's great to see you. I hope you're feeling
great
better.
to see you. Yeah. As we're closing up.
So you're posting a video tomorrow. Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah, it's a lot of people have been sort of dealing with stuff, and my friend Mark, if you're listening, hi Mark. I know you've said you needed to take an extended break from YouTube again. Although you posted some cool stuff, your Polish train stuff was going awesome there, Mark.
That's really neat.
I'm talking to people that
Aren't
don't
even
necessarily
here.
come in,
Right.
aren't even here. But it's always good to have you here.
Yeah.
Your ears must have been burning because we did mention you a couple of times earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, be that as it may, it's past 6 o'clock, so we have to go to the video game store and buy
Shopping
all
game.
the shopping game.
Well, I wanna go
We got
further
most in
than that.
shopping game. Oh, I thought we were just going to the... You lied to me! You told me we were just going to the little video game shop up
but
here.
I want to finish the
at-
shopping.
Yeah, we are done with the shopping. This is the last of it. I've got things I need to be working on. Do you understand? Things that I need to be working on.
You can afford a few hours and go shopping.
I'm not sure.
You were home all day.
I'm thinking of
today.
calling in sick to work all next week so I can finish it. And I've got Cayenne on Tuesday, and we're celebrating my birthday on Tuesday, so I
Yeah.
won't be able to do any writing then.
Right.
Oops.
You better get your writing
I
done
just-
before that.
I just mentioned writing.
Yeah, you did.
Uh-oh. Anyhow, everybody,
Yeah.
on behalf of the one and only Joyce, actually, there are plenty of Joyces out there.
There are, but I.
There are many Joyces out there. This one's mine.
Yep.
That sounds kind of male chauvinistic possessive, didn't it?
Just keep going. It's okay.
Anyhow, it was nice to have you all here, and
Sure
I hope you had a
was.
good time listening to me babble, except for Jean Ricard. I hope your kippers get curdled.
Oh. These poor kippers.
We're talking fish, dear.
I know.
Although we could be talking the other kippers, too.
I suppose.
Anyhow, on behalf of Joyce and myself, I'm going to say Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
See
Watch
you
my
around.
videos.
Right.